We're just gonna go through it and answer the questions together. The name of the project is the creation of Palatine zoning law. The description is the project is creation of the town of Palatine zoning, solar energy and equipment systems law. We are missing, okay, so there's nothing about acres or we don't have any of that. You have to check all land uses that are Huron, it's just all of them.
You should only check yes on number 1, and everything else is blank through page 3, and then you do part 2.
Okay, but,
Check 1, it says you have to have a narrative description. Do we have that? Is that
Check 1 says, does the proposed action only involve the legislative adoption of a plan, local law, ordinance, administrative rule, or regulation? If yes, attach a narrative, and that's the law that you'll be attaching.
got it, great.
Thank you,
Okay,
Betty.
so
I
we
wasn't sure what you were referring to. So now you skip
skip
to
to
part
part
2,
2. Great.
and you do answer all those questions.
But I still need to
Sign.
But you're not
On
missing
page
something
3.
stupid right
I have
something that's gonna
PTSD
do
from
that.
mine actually, so let's.
here. I have all the videos.
And big. That's on page 3.
It's probably a good 20 degrees cooler right now than it is that way. Okay, part 2, number 1. Will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations?
I say no or small.
No or small?
No or small.
Good. Will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use of land?
Negatory.
Will the proposed action, speak up if you disagree on any of this, will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community?
No.
Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of the critical environment area?
No.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, and other?
No.
Will it cause an increase in the use of energy? And they still have this form. Everybody in the state has this form with a typo in it. Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities?
No. No.
Will the proposed action impact existing public-private water supplies
No.
or public-private wastewater treatment utilities?
No.
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic uses?
How would you know? Because you don't know where it's going to be, right?
This is about the law.
Well, this is about the law, okay.
No. The law wouldn't do it. No. Law won't.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources?
No. No.
Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems?
No. No.
Will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
Nope. No.
Determination of significance, check this box if you have determined based on the information and the analysis above. And any supporting documentation that the proposed action may result in one or more potentially large or significant impacts. And an environmental impact statement is required. Or check this box if you have determined based on the information and analysis above and any supporting documentation that the proposed action will not result in any significant
I agree with the checkbox.
Yeah, so I like it.
So we're determining that it does not result in any significant
Correct.
adverse environmental impacts. I will date, let's say, 23rd.
23rd.
I will date it the 27th and sign it. Nancy, did you prepare this?
Yes.
Can I ask you to set, if there's a signature for preparer? Yeah. The 23rd?
No, she said she dated it the 23rd to 17.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Linda, what is the date? Not 2 hours. Under why it's being sent, the choices are this is to the county.
Are we talking about the referral? to the
Yeah.
county?
The choices are municipal, it's
I
check none of them, right?
believe we would check, is it new law?
Yeah, check new law, but then under that, this is forwarded to your office and compliance, blah, blah, blah. And then this is sent for your review and recommendation because, and it's none of those.
Is it on the first page?
Yeah, at the very bottom,
Oh, okay.
number
Number two.
2.
Number 2. For the turbine, it was just check municipal boundary. First box. First one? So I assume it's the same.
Okay.
It's within the.
Right, okay.
And that's the town's one.
Second
This
page
is
is
the
down the
town.
So, and we need a motion to authorize me to refer the seeker form and project. Or, no, we need the authorization for me to refer the project to the Montgomery County Planning Board. The project is the creation of town Palatine zone.
I make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? We're voting to refer the law to the planning board. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? This is the part of the night where it starts to get silly.
Yep. Now, do we have to vote on the resolution?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we're doing.
Okay, Linda. They need 3 copies, I believe?
Actually, Amanda said if we scan it, she'll do the copy, so I have a scanning tomorrow at work.
Okay, you
But
should
I'll
make a
make it
copy
all.
for the
Okay, I'll make a copy for myself, and then I'll give this to you before we leave Nancy.
And she said we'd be on there September 10th.
We have some additional resolutions, and motions. One, let's do the resolution to pass the solar law, just to keep our topics together. So, in front of us, we have the law, which has been introduced and a public hearing was held and the seeker was completed. We have, there's a separate seeker resolution. Okay, so we have to do the seeker resolution then.
Is this the one that says secret negative declaration? Is that what we're?
Yeah, so we need the motion to, pass the resolution declaring the seeker, the resolution regarding the seeker negative declaration.
So moved.
And I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh, aye, I'm an aye. Any abstentions? So
That's
we need
number
a,
48, resolution 48.
okay. So you have that for your records. Great. Now it's resolution number 49. Which essentially passes the solar law. Would anybody like to be put down as the sponsor? Fitting because you went to all of the meetings.
That's right.
And who would like to second it?
I will second it.
Okay, all in favor of adopting resolution number 49, 2017?
We have to count this.
We're a roll
individually.
call. Thank you.
All right, Sarah?
Aye.
Is it Betty?
Yes.
Chris Novak?
Aye.
Neil?
Aye.
And Hank?
Aye.
So moved. All right. Now, moving on to the highway spending plan. Before it gets moved or introduced, does anybody want to make any changes to it?
I have some questions and comments, Madam Supervisor, but do you want to do this for the moment?
Yeah, we have a
Okay.
bunch of.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if that was the case, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, there were a lot of questions that came up. First question I have is, we didn't, put in this 10-year plan for a mower, and I know Artie's been borrowing, AR mower, and they're like 120,000, and I think we should probably have that somewhere in this plan.
What was your thinking on that?
What's that?
On the mower?
With an AR mower.
You didn't, why didn't we?
They're very useful. We don't have them. I borrowed one this year, cost us some money to use it, but it wasn't a
My
very-
understanding is that this was sort of the bare bones what we really.
Well,
needed.
I mean, if we're gonna be real, I just thought we should have it in this budget somewhere, because you're gonna need one sooner or later, because even if they don't make you go, if they make you go to enclosed cabs, we gotta have 2 mowers.
Why couldn't we keep borrowing?
What's that?
Why couldn't we just keep borrowing one?
Oh, that's what we did this
As
year.
long as it's available.
As long as it's available, we borrow one, but
I mean, so we wouldn't want to buy one unless we could have bought one.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I found a couple good deals on used ones, but the board didn't give me permission to buy them. I mean, I was looking at used ones for 15 to 20,000 instead of 125 or 40,000 for a new one. You know, something that gets used, you know, for 2 months out of the year and then sits the rest of the year.
I guess it's hard to plan out because as long as you can borrow one, you know.
When did the process,
What's that?
when did the process?
Just repair parts. They break down.
Yeah,
The parts.
like any other machine. Well, I just thought we should have it in there as a placeholder because sooner or later you're gonna need either one of those two tractors you would replace with an Aon, right?
No, I would keep the two we got and add an AR.
And add, so you'd add three. You'd have a total of three.
Right.
So, I just think it should be in the budget.
So if it's, I mean, it's not a placeholder, it's a commitment to buy it. I mean, we one by one, you know, we need to make, you know, approve the expenditure. But this is a plan, so.
I just thought a fiscal budget should be real world, and I know sooner or later, we're gonna either need a tractor or a tractor with an AR, because Artie's talked about it for 2 years. So, I mean, it should be in the plan, and we should work around it. That's just a thought.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the first thing. The second
So
thing,
what year?
well, that's up to, I think Artie should,
I mean, if you're gonna ask my opinion, looking at this, I mean, unfortunately, it makes it look like it's 5 years or 4 years with big numbers, but 2020 is, you're spreading hardly anything in 2020.
I don't know why.
well then, we should put, it should be in there, I guess is just one thought.
Well, you can always buy one if you need one.
I understand, but if we're gonna have a fiscal plan that's true to what we know, and we know we're gonna need a mower eventually. How old are the Fords you gotta put in now? 25?
92s.
92s, 25 years old.
But you're talking a different animal, you're talking a farm tractor compared to a plow truck.
Hey,
Apples and oranges.
mine's is older,
It's not
but
the
by
same.
far, I get you, but you also mentioned to me that they may make us go to enclosed cabs at some point.
We talked about it, I mean,
So everything else on this is like, we are doing it if we approve it, because there's nothing in it, it doesn't, there's nothing, you don't, there's nothing unforeseen that it requires. The only, for all of these, it's based, for things like the quarter ton, 3/4 ton pickup, the 1 ton dump,
well,
it's
before you
based
say
on.
that, my thought is, this is not gonna be etched in stone.
No, of
Because
course.
I gave the example of something happened to one of our plow trucks and it burned, let's say it burned up. Insurance company's gonna pay for a portion of it, they're not gonna buy you a brand new plow truck. No. So you're gonna have a cost, if you're gonna replace that truck, you're gonna have a cost somewhere along the road that's not planned there.
Yeah, no, but that's not this plan. This plan is a framework, but it is the equipment that needs regular replacement. It's not one-off equipment. It's not, you know, there's always
I
gonna be
mean,
other things, so.
And on that thing, the road grader is not on this anywhere.
Right, there's
We got a
no-
1974 road grader, but as we get rid of dirt roads, we use the road grader less and less every year. You see what I'm saying?
No, I
So,
understand, but that's a real world thing. You live by until we're at a dirt road.
I mean, if something happened to our road grader, chances are some neighbor in town will come grade our dirt roads for us if there was something dramatically wrong with ours, dramatically wrong with ours. But, you know,
We're trying to put a real plan together, and I just thought that should be somewhere, because I think it's there, just as, like, there's two other things. Let me bring it all up, and then we can talk, because it's all part of the plan. The current grade all is 21 years old. We put about 300 hours a year on it, right? It's got
probably more than that.
500, it's got 6,000 hours in 20-something years,
It
right?
didn't have that many hours on it, town bought it. We
Okay.
put a lot of hours on it after we got
Okay.
it.
Would it be better if we got an excavator and leased a grade all for a few months a year? Because that's not a lot of hours. Could that be an option? That was proposed to me by,
An excavator.
if we got an excavator and then, because the grade all is only for grading ditches, but it's difficult in certain jobs that we could probably use a different piece of equipment for. Is that correct?
We use the grade all for everything.
Okay. Well, I saw the county, they did culverts, and they used the excavator to dig the culverts and the grade all to do the ditches around and do the.
Right. Because they have one.
Okay.
If
But
they didn't have that excavator, they'd be using the grader.
instead of purchasing, if we leased for a few months a year, we wouldn't have to spend $265,000 on the grade all. And we'd have the excavator when we needed it, and then the grade all we could lease for a couple of months a year and not pay the upfront cost. It was asked of me, I'm relaying it. And while we're at it, the other one is that we have 6 trucks, but you're a driver. you retire in 4 years, say, we have no more 6 drivers to drive, we only have 5 drivers, so shouldn't we kind of plan out an obsolescence of the 6 truck and go to a 5 truck rotation based upon that you may not longer be there, or we're gonna phase it out eventually? I mean, what are your thoughts? Because if we,
I understand what you're saying,
yeah,
but same token as, you know, if you come up with this plan, is this thing etched in stone? I don't think it is. I think if something happens down the road and you don't need to replace a truck, then you just don't replace it.
well, I'm only discussing it and trying to be as real as possible because the controller's office wants us to have a real practical plan. And there's just a couple of things that we didn't have in the plan. And it's not that I don't want you to get equipment, I want you to get a tractor, to be honest with you. I think we shouldn't keep borrowing because at some point, we're gonna either run out of luck or
Oh, yeah, it's gonna happen.
Or something's gonna surge.
something's gonna happen and
Happen to the machine.
we're gonna end up paying $10,000 to somebody else's tractor when it
Good,
could have
you
been
know,
ours.
if the motor was bad or something while we're using it, I wanna feel we're responsible.
Oh, yeah. That's
So
So we're gonna do a motor job on somebody else's tractor.
Right.
The other thing is, if you run this last time, and I wish you all the luck in the world, but after you're done, the other guy may not have a license, and why are we held on to 6 trucks, and then we replace all the trucks in 15 years as opposed to
I see
18?
you cross that bridge when you get there.
Well, I was just thinking maybe we should plan out, because it's only 1.2 miles per run if we go to 5 trucks in, say, 2020, and it would be an expense we didn't have to pay, $230,000 less that we have to pay. And if you couple that with the great all, and even add an excavator and a tractor, we'd be about $350,000 less in this budget over the next 10 years than we have. But I'm just
So
throwing it
that's-
out there.
But then that assumes that what you're doing right now is not necessary.
As soon as
That
what
what
I'm
you're
doing.
doing, right,
What I'm
like
doing
if-
is unnecessary, right?
That's what I'm saying, like, if,
I had the same problem with FEMA. I said, what about my pay? What's the town gonna get back for what I did during this storm?
yeah,
Well, what'd you do? I said, I ran that truck right there.
right.
Okay, well, we got a body to show with that truck. I said, but if it wasn't me, and that truck was sitting in the yard, and I got a guy I can hire, you would've paid every friggin' hour that guy worked. I said, you're running, you're you're not looking at both sides of the coin.
I mean, that's the other way it goes, is if we thought that the superintendent job was not supposed to be in the truck, well, then it would pay less and we'd hire another guy.
Exactly.
Well, not necessarily, because our contract and our costs may not assume hiring another guy.
But,
Because-
but we have to understand that if Artie's not in the truck, there's work that's not getting done and there's a value to the work.
Right, when I'm not in the truck, it happens. Trucks break down in the middle of a snowstorm. As soon as you take one truck out of the equation, yes, you're right, it's only X number of miles more per truck, but it's a half an hour.
I
times
understand it's a
5.
half hour, but
Every time.
I'm just trying to get, just trying to get it real and figure it out that we know what we're doing.
You know, I've done equipment replacement schedules, 4 or 5 of them since I've been the highway superintendent, and not once has it ever been followed. Do I think this is gonna get followed? No, I don't.
Well, I follow it if I'm here, because this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to spend the money that we have responsibly, and I just wanna make sure we have everything in that you need.
My main goal with this, with Sarah and Neil, was to put the major equipment that we use most of the time on a rotational replacement schedule. That's what it is. Sarah and Neil and I sat down, it was a plow truck every 3 years, that'd make the oldest one 18. The 1 tons every 5 years, so that we're getting rid of them before they're junk. I mean, I hate to tell you how much money just went into that 2008 pickup truck out there. I put more in tires in it than it's probably worth.
I just saw what you spent in repairs, just the
Yeah,
springs
it's
and
all in that
stuff.
pickup
Yeah.
truck. You know what I'm saying? That pickup and the one ton. You know, stuff gets old.
I'm not fighting you, Artie. I just
Oh,
want to
I
put a good
understand
plan
that.
together. I want to put a good plan together
I
that
didn't,
works.
we didn't put, I'm gonna say we because the 3 of us talked about it. I didn't put the old loader in the replacement schedule. I didn't put the grader in there. You know, the stuff that we only use once in a while, the tractor, motor tractors. I didn't put none of that stuff in because I figured if that's something that comes up, you could always go to an auction and buy a used road grader that's 5, 6, 8, 10 years old instead of one that's 40 years old.
Because it doesn't need a replacement schedule. That's the
Right,
thing. This
right.
is a replacement schedule.
I understand.
And it doesn't preclude us from, when we need a mower, going out and getting a mower.
Right, exactly.
That is actually an entirely separate conversation, which is how much should be held in reserve to draw on when unforeseen circumstances come up, like needing to replace a piece of equipment, like putting up some, whatever it is.
Well,
you know.
our town's pretty fortunate. The town has never borrowed money to buy anything. There's towns out there bonding for everything they buy. Granted, it's low interest, but they're still paying more for something than they have to. It's just like the plow truck that I just priced. If we pay for the truck, the minute it comes into the dealer, they'll give you a discount. Most towns don't do that. They wait until the truck's all built, then they pay for it. We're paying more because they wait an extra 2 months to pay for it.
I understand, and you know, I'm wondering how this plan affects our budgets going. Have we run a 3-year budget forecast out? Because we have, in 2018, we got $250,000, and in 2019, we have 340. Do we know how much is going to end up if we stick to the schedule, come out of fund balance, and how much we have at this moment?